Hello everybody and welcome to the Taunton National Brick Event. Before we get into today's main content of seeing how my display looks with everything put together and the new amendments made, I'm going to take you on a tour of the Plymouth Brick Railway display that we had this weekend at the Taunton National Brick Event. To start off, we're going to look at the Duchess class by Jonathan Ingram. I think we featured this before. It's kind of running, but the main driving wheels are still getting a little bit bound up on it at the moment, so it needs a little bit of work. Next to that, we have Salty from the Thomas and Friends series. This has been built by Nick. He's also got some troublesome trucks behind. It goes like a bat out of hell, this thing, and the kids really love seeing it scooting around. Also at the back you'll see that we've got our sheds from last time as well, just one set, and then they feed into a turntable where we were trying to turn a locomotive at one point, got a bit distracted, and the following kind of happened. Now just down from the turntable we have James's A4 Pacific Bittern. This was mainly a static display today as it was having some controller issues, so hopefully that will get fixed in the future. And then just further down again we have James's all new station, which he's been reworking recently. We've got much deeper platforms so they look far more realistic, and we've got all these new canopies as well. He did tell me that he'd ordered about 500 or so of various pieces that he needed to make them, and realised that wasn't enough. So hopefully we'll see more of those in the future. And just pulling in now is a 5700 class and a couple of auto coaches made by Brick End Railway's Ben Rogers. This was fantastic. It was stopping at stations throughout the layout automatically before moving along on its way. And it's doing that just by detecting these tiles which Ben has added into the various areas of our stations. I'm sure you'll see that one pop up every now and again throughout the rest of this video, but before we leave James's area, let's take a quick look at his Class 43 HST at the front here, which randomly has a ScotRail carriage in the consist. I'm not sure what that's about. Hopefully James does. And this one's been running really well all day today as well. So this section has been really difficult to film all day because it's always had somebody around it, and it still does. This is the Botanical Gardens section by Derek Evans, otherwise known as Grandad's Garden Bricks on Instagram. Every time I see this, it is always astounding as to how much detail is going on here. I think this lake section I don't remember seeing before. There's always something new going on. All of the new minifigure series is included in this section as well. I think Derek got all of those in one hit. There's a train passing by now. This is Derek's cargo train that's going through with all the diggers etc on it, and even when Derek has used sets in his displays, he's always filled up the entire area with as much greenery and plants and flowers as he could possibly fit in there to make them completely unrecognizable as the sets that they originally were. So one of the things that Derek also told me that he wanted to do was to raise up more of this back section like he has with the Hogsmeade Village. This should mean that it's easier for people who are viewing it to see all the various details and sets without it being obscured with the really densely packed amount of Lego that's going on in the front section as well. I think he's planning on using lots of rock pieces in order to achieve that. So hopefully we'll get to see that in the future as well. So this next section is the Minecraft overworld, and this is my son's display. Unfortunately he's not been with us for the day because it was a very early start and he's a teenager, so that just wasn't happening. Again, we've got a very nicely densely packed area, but this display hasn't really changed for the past few shows, so this is probably going to be one of the last shows that we'll display it at before he needs to have another think about what he wants to display in the future. Okay, and next up we have probably one of the most radically different displays in the Plymouth Brick Railway this time around. This is Jurassic Park by Jonathan Ingram, and he's made many changes to this setup. The most prominent of those being that he now has a whole new station platform for welcoming visitors to the park. This has recently been completed, so it is missing some stickers which he's asked me to provide for him, And you can see it's a big platform, some Daleks randomly for some reason, and a very welcoming T-Rex. I'm not sure how I'd feel about being welcomed by a T-Rex, but he's there nonetheless. Also, one of the things that he's been working on for this is the laboratory where they're doing all of the gene splicing and whatnot, and he's made a lot of this from the magazine sets with the small builds that you get from that, and so he's got a lot of these very small raptors because of that. The whole thing is integrated into the lab from the visitor center set that he had as well, so it's a nice kind of continuation of that. The next big difference that you can see as well is his enclosure has been massively upgraded with these new pillars and bars, and even the gates. You can see the Jeep coming through, and I think overall you'll agree it looks so much better. He just needs to get to a point of adding a lot more vegetation into the area now, which I think is his next sort of plan. So really pleased to see how this has developed over time. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it's going to change as more vegetation and roads and big piles of dung are added into the display. Now, we don't have him with us today, but our member Martin has very kindly lent us his bridge based on the Royal Albert Bridge between Plymouth and Saltash. This is how we get in and out of our displays. It is hinged and allows us to move it up and get in and out. But we've had some alignment issues because of the tables that are being used. So these beautiful hinges have not been utilized very much at all. And this is our penultimate display. This is Brick End Railway, or Ben Rogers if you know him, and he does some absolutely fantastic detailed builds. It's an absolute pleasure to have Ben with us for the Plymouth Brick Railway. He's got a very different style to what we do though, in where all of his builds are not onto like interconnected plates. They're all very much separated so that he can reconfigure everything that he has into whatever situation that he's finding himself in. But he's still got these beautifully ballasted tracks which are using the old grey to get that nice differentiation between the old light bluish, the new light bluish grey. And he was telling me that that's becoming a bit expensive to do now though, because the old grey is becoming so much harder to find. Again, we're looking at the station now, and there's so much detail going on that I love. I love these scales that are there. The minifigs are just really cool. Up on the bridge we've got the Healer family doing some train spotting, and further down here we've got Superman, who's just got changed in the phone box. So yeah, absolutely amazing stuff going on here. As we come around the corner, you start to see some more of his larger detailed builds. This church is really cool, with Batman chilling out on the top there as well. And there's also lots of interactive bits for the kids to do, like this push button windmill. And so we come to the final display of the Plymouth Brick Railway, which is my own one. And I'm sure you're all dying to know how the 3-stud wide HST has been going. Well, I can tell you it has been running like an absolute champ today. I've not had any issues with the squealing that was happening from the motor, so the lubricant that I added seems to have done the job. It ran out of power about midday, so it definitely needed me to have the 2 circuit cubes on hand, but I haven't had to change that second one out, so it looks like I can get away with running the 2 of them together at a show and not need to worry about it. And you can also see my street scene is finished off with all the tiles, and the lampposts are in place. I've got all of the vehicles out adding to it. I'm really pleased with the contrast in colour now, having those dark tan pavements. I'm really pleased that's the way that I went with it. In the future I want to get a few more minifigures to put out around there as well, but that's just something that I'll address as time goes by. The other thing that I've finished off is the platform extensions now have all of their tiles on and the extra fencing at the back as well, so they were brilliant to hold larger trains throughout the day. I did make a small mistake though, in that when I was putting together all of these fencing, I left 2 off. In fact, it wasn't from this bit, it was actually from over here, and I've moved those over just to complete the fencing on the main platform, but I have them at home, I just forgot to put them on. So yeah, that's on me. The other cool thing that I got to do on the day was to also test my 5600 class chassis that I'm building. Although it was able to pull a decent load, it's very slow. It kept getting stuck because of the lack of traction bands, but also I've heard that the motor that I'm using is just generally a bit rubbish, and this kind of shows that it is. So I need to try some different gearing and some more pull tests to see whether this is worth carrying on with. And that was our display at the National Brick Event in Taunton. I'm going to leave you now with some video of different trains running around the layout. Bonus points if you've made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I'll see you next time.